Recording in progress. And welcome to an edition of Pop It. It's the first time we filmed a Pop It on a Friday evening. My goodness, we are ladies of the night tonight. And I'm so excited. We're back with our rich panel. We got Joanna, who is just fab. We have another rich bish. It's Brendan on the chat. And then, of course, I think last time's winner. Am I right, Haley?
Yes.
You can brag a little bit. Look at me, look at me. So we're going to see who of the three of you is going to win the first Rich Panel Pop It of 2022. So whoever wins, this might be a trend for the year because we're going to do a couple of these battles. So I'm excited. Well, let's start off. We got 5 topics, 30 seconds each for each response. We got to start with this one. So Kim Kardashian, who we all know has been up at Pete Davidson's snatch. Apparently, Kim unfollowed Miley Cyrus after Miley Cyrus and Pete Davidson had a New Year's Eve event. What is going on? Is this shady? Like, is Miley trying to get up in Pete's face? Like, what is going on? Brendan, you start us off. What do you think about this whole thing?
Okay, so I would say Kim Kardashian has been irrelevant since the tape, and I feel like she's just got to relax and calm down. Like, why can't you just take a joke? And for Miley Cyrus, like, I do love her, but I just feel like things need to be settled, and it's not all about like who you're following or like who's following you or whatever. Like, they're already both like old as hell already. Like, there are people more famous than them now, so they got to back down and get out of the limelight.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed with that. Every topic we talk about, you're like, so 2003. Like, it's just like so dated for you. Haley, what about you? What's your take on this whole drama?
I don't know. I guess I kind of agree that I think that if someone unfollows someone else on Instagram, I think the general public doesn't have to make a big deal about it. Maybe they just listen. To be honest, Miley Cyrus does post like 40 times a day. So maybe her feed was a little flooded, but I don't think that, Miley tried to make any moves or anything. It doesn't seem like it's in her character. So I don't think it has anything to do with that.
And that's your time. Joanna, what about you? What's your take on this whole Kim Kardashian and shenanigans? I forgot the rest of the story. I was like, people.
I agree. I don't think Miley had it out for Kim, but this is totally something that I do when I'm that bitch that's like, I don't like you anymore, unfollow. I don't want to see your face anymore. Like, I'm sorry, I totally do that. I block people all the time. It's like a ritual for me.
Well, I appreciate the honesty, Joanna, because I feel like I might be that person too, and I don't want to admit it. I just gotta say, I think Haley might have the best theory here. 40 times a day, girl, go take a hike, go read a book, go to Starbucks and sit there and have an apple turnover. 40 posts. Oh my goodness, that's a little too much for me. Speaking more Kardashian news, they are just, Kris Jenner's really hitting the cycle early this year. Tristan Thompson, he apologized to Khloe for fathering another child, but they broke up last summer. Does he still want Khloe? Like, why does she? I mean, she should be apologized to, but this seems kind of weird. And I mean, could you take him back if you were in Khloe's shoes? A lot of questions that I have. Joanna, back to you. What is your take on this?
Khloe definitely deserves an apology, but I don't know if she necessarily needs this public apology. And then also, in my opinion, the children are the ones that need the apology here. They're going to grow up with all these daddy issues because he goes and gets someone pregnant and then leaves right away. Like, no one wants a father like that. And this guy's so messed up. Sorry, I was going to say the F word. I don't know if that's allowed on this show, but this guy, I'm over it. I was so glad when he left Cleveland. Get out of our lives. Get out of everyone's lives. Can you just, I'm sorry.
That's your time. You know what? If it makes you feel better, I don't know if we're allowed to say the F word either. Because sometimes it happens. Sometimes it's like, so I'm going to say yes. If you're feeling it, say it. Moving on to Haley. Haley, Tristan Thompson, is this a slam dunk for you?
I think that Khloe should have dropped him, 8 cheating scandals ago. I think that he is a total POS, and I think she deserves better, especially now that she has a daughter with this guy. His actions should speak louder than his 40 public apologies. So I think that he should have gotten his shit together, before he decided to have a kid. And I don't think it's Khloe. I mean, she's been a victim in all of it. So
there's like an eclipse on Pop It with all this shade happening today, and I love it. Brendan, do you have some more shade to add to this fire? What do you think about Tristan Thompson?
First of all, I have a much better conversation with a cupped fart. I feel like both families are very irrelevant. I didn't even know he was still, or that he had left the Brown or the Cavs, like at all. I feel like there's probably one of the worst things that ever happened in Cleveland was that relationship. I just feel also like it's kind of sucks that we're honoring two people that really don't even matter at all. Like, why can't we focus on better things instead of like running these things in the magazine? Like, I don't care. I really don't care. If they cheat, they cheat, whatever. Like, I would never cheat.
That's your time. That's your time. This is for me, there's been so many men out there. We need male birth control. Where is it? I mean, seriously, if, quote, the condom's too small for me, which, fun fact, it's not. I don't care if you got a fucking brick house down there. Oh my God, now I'm swearing. Joanna, you convinced me. I just feel like it is so wrong to these children to, clearly he's not mature enough to be a father, to even have, listen, do you have to be in a committed relationship? No, of course not. If you're going to be a bachelor, that's your agenda. If you set boundaries with people and say, I don't want to marry, I don't want to be together, I don't want to be exclusive, then that person knows, okay, right? And if they try and change you, that's on them. You told them, you set the boundary, but it doesn't seem like he's doing boundaries, and he needs to get it together. Speaking of boundaries that were broken, Andy Cohen drunkenly slams Mark Zuckerberg, Bill de Blasio, and a bunch of smoke coming from Ryan Seacrest's group of losers that were performing behind him. So was this unprofessional? Was this fun? Were points made with Andy? Brendan, I'm sure you don't care about Andy Cohen, but feel free. Well, what's your take?
I'm just saying, I have some friends who have received some DMs from Andy Cohen and the other guy, what's his name?
Anderson Cooper?
Yeah, Bradley Cooper.
Anderson Cooper. Roll back. It's not Bradley Cooper on
Anderson
Grindr.
Cooper. And they seem like really nice guys. I mean, I would just not showcase that in front of like millions and millions of people. Like, one of the biggest events in the entire world. You do you, but also leave some other people out of it because it may drag some things down, may cause like fake stories to happen. So
that's your time. I love the scandalous tea on the Andy Cohen. Haley, what about you? Do you think this is A-okay, or was this a KO?
I just have to say that I can vouch for him, because how many times would you be in trouble if you said something drunk about the people that you don't like on national television? I mean, we'd all be in trouble. We'd all have to come out with a public apology. So I think that it was the over serving of tequila that did it. But I think that, it's his job. He's a TV personality. Mm-hmm. So he was being personable. Mm-hmm. Well,
that's your time. And that's your time. Joanna, what about you? Is this fun, unprofessional, or should Andy Cohen watch his margaritas next time he's out having gay brunch?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know who Andy Cohen is.
Oh, I like how we have Brendan who's like, I have friends who are in the DMs, honey.
I know Brendan's like, I know him personally. Like, okay.
Brendan's like, I was invited for a date. Oh,
right. But I feel like people are kind of blowing this out of proportion because they have nothing. It's like, why are you talking about this? Do you have nothing else to talk about? But I think, people kind of need to get over it. Yeah, maybe he crossed the line a little bit, but he probably is just having good fun, and people need to have some thicker skin.
The most ridiculous thing about this Andy Cohen thing was he was like, I was overserved, hunties. It's like, no, girl, you were serving yourself. Like, it's not like the waiter was like, I just happened to have this whole multiple shots of tequila and, it happened to be there. You were pouring the bottle. There's literally footage of him like, woo, let it rain, like rain on me in the club. Like, no. So I the excuse is a little weak for me. It's just admit that, like, yeah, I had a little too much. I was overserved. Okay, girl. Are regular movies canceled? Marvel movies made 30% of the total box office last year. Holy crap, Oli. And that doesn't even include Spider-Man, because that's not Marvel, by the way. I know we're just want to make sure this panel knew. I knew if Joanna didn't know Andy Cohen, I don't know if they knew Spider-Man wasn't Marvel. So what do we think? I mean, do people not care about movies? Is it all about the superhero? Is this stupid? We're gonna go back to Joanna.
I felt like, okay, maybe I kind of read this question wrong. I'm not sure. Was under the impression again that this was kind of like people aren't going to the theaters; they're watching it at home. Is that kind of where we're headed here? I honestly feel like that's kind of where we're at. It's like people, we're subscribed to all these streaming stations and we don't want to go to the theaters anymore because we're already paying to watch it at home. And I feel like they would get more box off tickets and stuff if we have more of those like fancy theaters where you go and like get drunk and eat food while you watch your movie. I would pay for that. But
that's your time. And actually, I think Spider-Man is Marvel, so I done messed up. Oh my god! And you guys, don't let me mansplain Spider-Man if I'm wrong. Call me out, hunties. Oh my god, I keep saying hunties.
Some of them are Marvel and some of them aren't.
Yeah,
is that how it is?
Yeah, there's like Marvel, and then there's like
DC. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh
Brett, is Spider-Man Marvel?
I think it is because wasn't Tom Holland in like the big one?
What did the straight man say? What did he say?
Yes.
Okay. Confirmed by a hetero man. Thank God for the hetero men today. They came through for the show. Okay.
And of course.
Wow, this poppet is just chaotic. Oh my god. Haley, what about you? 30% of last week's box office totals came from Marvel. Is this a sign of the times by Harry Styles? Or, are people not going to movies? What's going on?
I think that it does have a lot to do with what's going on with COVID. So maybe not a lot of people are going like to the theaters as they did 2 or 3 years ago. But I do feel like it's also a lot of Marvel fans because like once you're in it, there's like 30 different movies. So like once a new one comes out, I think that like you're gonna go see the next one. So I think that, it's probably just those big Marvel fans that are, going to see it once or, they go see it with one group of friends and then they want to show another group of friends. So I think it's like Harry Potter.
And that's your time. Ooh, good comparison. Brendan, what about you? I feel like you might not have ever seen the Spider-Man or a Marvel movie, but tell us your tea. Give us your spill.
So first of all, last time I was in a theater, it was in 2020 seeing Little Women or 2019, whatever it was. And I had to Google what a Marvel movie was, and I've only seen Iron Man. But anyway, good for them. I feel like I really am kind of leaning away from like going to the movie theaters now that like, I don't know, it's not really as big right now, even though like I know Haley and Joanna love going to the theaters, but for me, it's like, I don't know. I really have like no explanation, so I'm just gonna ramble on a bit. But
I like how you're like, I don't know, girl. Just
I don't care. I'll lay down in my bed and watch Netflix and chill with someone.
I can't wait till there's a day in Pop It where we finally have a topic that Brendan's like, I actually care about that. I feel like every topic Brendan's like, I don't care.
Anything with Chick-fil-A.
Good thing.
Lord.
And Lord. Oh man, finally. Okay, this has to be the craziest topic. We had some crazy ones. Jason Derulo gets into a fight with 2 guys who allegedly mistake him for Usher. They were like, oh, it's Usher. And it immediately went from 0 to 60. Is this ridiculous? Would you have thrown hands if you were Jason Derulo and got paired to Usher? Brendan, back to you.
So like, I'm not really a big fan of Jason Derulo, but I can't really say many bad things because he's a big creator on TikTok and I can't talk bad about it. But he has really good music, and I feel like he may have overreacted a bit being compared to Nelly. And I don't know, it's just like I really may not have like overreacted like that, but also like the fact that like he could have like been in the lawsuit. I mean, looks bad for your brand and everything.
I don't know. I think we've hung out sometimes, and when people mistake you for something, I think I've seen you get a little pissy with people.
Yeah, I guess so.
Haley, what about you? Does Jason Derulo need to take a chill Rulo out?
So I definitely don't think that he should have responded as aggressively as he did. First of all, being compared to Usher isn't a bad thing. I feel like that's a really big compliment. But I did read the article, and it said that they were like, hey, Usher, fuck you to Jason Derulo. So I think that they might have deserved to be slapped around a bit, but I don't think that he should have responded like that. I don't think violence would have. It obviously didn't do anything. It just hurt Jason Derulo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what? The FU probably meant more than the Usher.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm like, you know, maybe like he's upset because the STDs. Because remember when Usher had the clap for a while?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe that's why he's upset, because he's like, I don't spread the clap. I don't know.
I don't know. When I think of Usher, I think of like, yeah.
Oh, that is a
so
bop.
like I was like that'd be like kind of cool. Like if someone was like, hey Usher, I mean, but like not someone being like, hey Usher, fuck you. And it's just not Usher.
No, I agree with you there. Joanna, what about you? Close us out. What's your hot take on this Jason Derulo being mistaken as Usher and get into a fight over it?
I think that Jason Derulo needs to have a self-care day, and that this probably just like pushed him over the edge, because I don't know why he would freak out to that extreme over, like Haley said, a compliment of being called Usher. So I think that he needs to focus on his own mental health and maybe have some self-love and some self-care.
Mm-hmm. You know, reading the article, like Haley said, they said, hey, Usher, F-U, beesh. So yeah, maybe it wasn't necessarily Usher. It was probably the F-U. So Haley, good observation on that one, I gotta say, because I missed that. Probably because it's TMZ and, you know, you're just like, hey, girl. All righty. Well, we had 5 topics in a very cray-cray pop-it tonight. And let's see. We have Joanna with 27 points. We have Brendan with 27 points. And Haley with 28 points. Haley, you are the winner. Back-to-back wins.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Yeah.
What you say? What you say, girl?
What you say? This is the greatest, highest honor I could ever imagine. I just want to thank the Academy. Yeah, the music starts playing.
And hairstyles.
I play my own music in the background, like
music.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know, these were some crazy topics to get us started in 2022. So if this is just the beginning, I can't wait to see what happens this year, and I can't wait for you guys to be part of that year. And hopefully we find a topic that Brendan cares about. That's all that. That's my goal for the year. I want Brendan to be like, girl, I care so much about this. That's my goal. So we'll see you for another edition of Pop. And until then, peace out.